Do-do-do-do. This is the intro song. Alright, so here we are, guys, with the new Kilohearts Phaseplant synth thing. My phone volume is on. Whoops. Okay, so welcome to the stream, everybody, and this is Phaseplant. This is an amazing little doodad of software, and this is a synthesizer slash sampler slash ridiculous thing. I will start off by saying, as you'll note on the top of the screen and as you'll see here, this is a beta version of this. So this may not totally accurately represent the final product, but we're just going to kind of dive through this, have some fun with it, and see what it's like. Show off a few patches first, probably. So let's go ahead and I guess just dive through some of my presets I'm working on at the moment. So this is one of my presets called Electro Trash Reese, and it sounds like this. So this is a wavetable and an analog oscillator. This feeds into a ton of effects. There's LFOs and random LFOs and things like that. Let's see, Extreme Neuro. This is another preset I made. So nice, ridiculous, screechy thing from hell. Here's a little lead patch I've been working on. And got some macros that do different stuff. So you get 8 macros. And you can tie these to whatever you want. You can tie them to multiple parameters and so on and so forth. Do any of the other Kilohearts plugins work on Phaseplant? Yes. So over here, you'll see that we've got 3 different lanes. This is sort of similar to like Snap Heap or Multipass. And these plugins are actually the Kilohearts plugins. So if we, we'll just close a couple of these here. It's got a lot of stuff. You'll see this is all of the Kilohearts snap ends. So I could add the 3-band EQ, I could add Bit Crusher, and you can even use stuff like, where is it, Slice EQ. So you can open up the full Slice EQ and do ridiculous things. You could even do mid-side EQ inside of a synthesizer. And I don't know any other synth that offers that. So I mean, just stupid powerful, and obviously you can do whichever ones you would like. Okay, yeah, so moving right along, this is ridiculous. This synth is just, I don't even know. Here's a little kick patch I made. Nothing too crazy, but this is a really cool way to like enhance a sample, which I guess I'll just go ahead and demonstrate. So what I've done here is create just like a 50 hertz sine wave with a couple little envelopes to make a kick. And what I like to do with this guy is actually load the sampler. We'll create a new group for the sample. So we'll move this sample to its own group and give it its own output right there. And then we could grab a... let's just grab like one of my kick drums or something. So we could do this kick drum. I could drag this right in there, and then we got the root note here, so we can just play this, and this will be on top of this nice 50 hertz sine wave. So you can get some nice beefy kicks that way. How's it on the CPU? Really not bad. Let me open up a more intense patch. Okay, so this is a snare drum, and it's got a bunch of different oscillators and stuff, and tons of effects, and a lot of envelopes and whatnot. Let me get my... Let's see, where's my performance meter? I don't know where that's at. Oh, I think I can just expand this over here to view the CPU usage. No? Open U? I don't know why that doesn't want to work. Okay. Anyways, it's really not bad. So this is a really intense patch. And I mean, I can just do that all day, and my computer doesn't even struggle. In terms of oscillators, I don't know if there's actually a limit. Let's find out. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each of these, by the way, can have up to 8 voices of unison, and then you can add global unison up to an additional 8 voices. So I'm just going to keep on adding oscillators for a second. As far, like I said, as far as I'm aware, there is no actual limit. Yeah, I'm not encountering anything. So, yeah, as far as I'm aware, no actual limit. That might be noted in the manual. So let's see, what's another one? This is a sample of a respace I made with a wavetable respace. So this is like a sampler meets wavetable, old and new school res. So that's pretty sick. This is another snare drum I made. This is probably one of my favorite presets I made. This is called Random Shiver Bass. So the goal here was to create kind of like weird noisy effects basses. I don't really know how I ended up making this patch, but you can see there's a lot of random LFOs for the most part, and that allows you to create things like this. I'm just holding a single note right now. So that's pretty ridiculous. This is a cool retro pad I made. Is the sampler on the plugin like the Ableton sampler loop a portion? Yeah, exactly. So this is actually looped right now. So if I just hold this note out. That'll just go on forever. You can also set the loop mode to off, infinite, and sustain, and adjust the crossfade. And then you can set the individual points of the loop, which is pretty dope. Are you being paid by Kilohearts yet or what? What's up, Art? How you doing, bro? My brother from a European mother. I'm not being paid by them, but I do love them very, very dearly. And I'm very happy to be beta testing this guy. It is absolutely sick. Let's go ahead and, I guess, take a look at the wavetables before we dive through more presets. So let me initialize here. So the wavetable editor is actually stupid powerful. So this is the default wavetable. We can open this up. This is the interface for wavetable editing. Once again, as I mentioned, this is a beta, so this might change, but basically this is how this works. We can just draw in a wavetable, so we'll go to frame 1 here. Go back to frame 1. All right, so we can draw in points, and they'll be nice and curved, and you can just right-click to make them sharp. So we can just make a ridiculous wavetable, okay, and hit done, and that's that. And then we could move to the ending one here, and we could actually do it like this. Sorry, hit the wrong thing. We'll draw some kind of curvy thing. All right, and done. And then we can click and drag and go to morph, and we'll do spectral. So now it will interpolate all that, or we could do crossfade instead and get something a bit more smooth. You can normalize stuff. Whoops. And we can see the harmonics here. There's also a filter, so we can add a filter here. So we could add a filter to the wavetable, which you can see up here will smooth it out. We could add a big resonant peak, and that will affect this. Like, it's really, really, really cool. There's different filter types, so we could use a notch filter if we wanted to filter out some of the harmonics. We can adjust the slope. Yeah, like I said, there's not a whole lot out there like this. So now we could just do this and quickly add an LFO, tie it to the frame, which is the index of the wavetable. And then we could set this to be unipolar and slow it down, and away we go. Do you get the little mini disperser and saturator with it, or do you have to get them as VST snap-ins? So I don't really know what's going to come with this, and I'm afraid to say anything that's wrong. So as far as I'm aware, I think it's going to be like you can buy Phaseplant as a bundle, maybe. Not totally sure, but you can follow them on Twitter. They're at NAMM right now doing stuff, so I'm sure they'll be posting more announcements. So yeah, now we need Virtual Riot here. Yeah, I can't wait to see what Virtual Riot does with this. That's going to be super dope. And Artifacts. I'm sure Art's going to do something stupid with this and make me mad, and then I'm going to want to give up on YouTube and do something else. Price-wise, I don't know. Like I said, I'm afraid to say anything wrong, so I won't really say, but from what I've seen them discuss, it's going to be a lot cheaper than you would think, and especially just given the sheer power of this, it's just, I don't know. I would pay a lot of money for this synth myself, because this is cool as hell. So this is an 808 patch, which I figured I would show because this is pretty neat, especially just using the macros. So I've created a really basic 808. And just the depth that this synth has is, like, it just sounds so clean. So I've added a pitch envelope control here so I can do length of the pitch decay, make it really snappy or make it really long. And then I can adjust the amount so I can make this a more intense pitch fall or way less intense. I've added growl controls here. And 2 different distortions. And a crispy maker and a frequency control for the crispy. And then my favorite, the kill knob. Use my wavetables. I haven't imported them yet. Let me, damn it. Oh, I'm gonna need probably gonna need a wavetable oscillator to do that. Okay. Wavetable, so wavetables, on that note, you can actually import your own. So we can go to import here. Here we go. Here's one of my Reese's Reese. If you watch the Reese's, making a Reese from a Reese's video. So this is the audio file, and I just imported that here. Cool thing, like I said, we can normalize. Whoops. This is kind of a bug at the moment. Sorry about that. Okay, let's back out. Okay, so I want to import my Reese's Reese. We'll hit done. We just got to get this back to the foreground here. So we can highlight all that, and we'll do crossfade, smooth things out a bit. There we go. All right, and now we have a Reese's Reese, so we could just build a quick patch with this, I suppose, and see what happens. All right, let's do frame, unipolar, nice and slow. Give it some unison detune. Pitch this bad boy down. Yeah, we could add distortion. And do all sorts of stupid, ridiculous things. The other cool thing that I haven't really showed yet is, sorry, I missed a question here. Does the editor have some of the Serum effects where you can squarify or normalize? So at the moment, it doesn't have warp modes that I'm aware of. However, you can normalize. Let's see, effects is just normalize. Yeah, but I think they might be adding warp modes and stuff later. I don't know if that's going to come out at release or if maybe that's going to be like a future update. So on the note of other cool stuff, this is actually capable of a bunch of different things. So right now we have a sine wave. What's cool is we can tie anything to just about anything. So I'm going to tie this to affect the phase. And this is basically how FM8 works. But what's cool is this synth is also capable of actual linear FM and exponential FM. Or both at the same time. Or we could do that plus phase modulation. Or we could do that plus amplitude modulation. Like this. And we could offset this. Let's see. That's actually kind of a cool... I wonder if we... So yeah, to demonstrate, let's add a nice delay. And maybe a big reverb. Get a nice spacey effect. Can we compare a simple saw and here and some other synths? All right, let's initialize. So we'll do analog, one voice saw. Cool. Let's grab, I guess, we'll do Dune 3. Let's initialize saw, okay. And let's grab, oh, I don't know. Synthmaster 1's a good choice. Let's initialize that guy, and then let's grab, let's do DistroKid. Okay, I think that should be more than enough to compare to. Let's go ahead and get a scope going here. Let me move my limiter. Let's do... We'll just use slice EQ, because that's usually what I like to look at things through. So we'll set the spectrum to exact, and we can take a look here. So we've got Phaseplant, sounds like this. Nice even response, you can see. Let's try Dune 3. You can see Dune 3's got a bit more of a fall off up in the super duper high frequencies. Synthmaster. Huh. Synthmaster actually has some kind of weird stuff. It looks like it falls off at a very linear pattern. I don't know. That's interesting. And DistroKid. And we can see DistroKid has a very significant cutoff up here at the top. But, you know, that's fine. So, now part of me wants to know, what if we play all four at the same time? Yeah, you can hear a bit of a cancellation going on there. So, all around, in terms of the actual, like, analog oscillators is what they're called. If we open up just one of these and make it nice and big, let's get rid of sync. And maybe we could just add the ladder filter, which is a great little plug-in. Bit of saturation to it. Actually a really, really great sounding oscillator. So that is a basic overview. What's the difference between regular phase mod and linear exponential? I actually have a video about that, talking about FM stuff, but basically, so linear FM and exponential FM are a little bit different. This would be easier to show in Reactor, but let's go ahead and just do this real quick. Okay, so linear FM is a fixed FM. Exponential is relative. So so it's doing something at a fixed frequency, whereas the other form of FM is actually pitch tracking, so their pitch is moving along with each other. Yeah, I'd need an FM or reactor to show. That would make a lot more sense. So outside of this, let's take a look at some other cool presets and stuff I made just to show off the sound of this. Okay, so this guy is made up of the analog oscillator and just a couple bits of noise and envelopes and whatnot. This sounds like this. And I really dig how much of like a clean sound that this has. And this guy right here is my respace thing. This is just the analog oscillators, and that's that. Which I think sounds absolutely killer. This guy here is a good demonstration of the sampler. This is one of the vocals from Alicia's sample pack that she made, tied up with some analog oscillators and noise oscillator here into some effects and stuff. So this is a vocal and a synth at the same time. Which I think is totally dope. And like before, Falcon was really the only thing I could do this in, but you guys know I'm like a huge fan of the Kilohearts plugins. So having all of this together, and especially this kind of like weird modular environment, is super cool. One of the other kind of dope things about this, oh yeah, I made some hi-hats. Yay. So one of the other dope things about this is you can actually send stuff however you'd like. So I'm going to kind of demonstrate that for a sec. So let's say we've got this and we can create a new group and do something different. So let's do a sampler, and let me grab I don't know, let's grab a plucky something or other. Okay, so I got this little bloopy noise, and that's an A. So I'm going to do this at A4. All right. And then we can add an output. So what I could do is actually send one of these to lane 2 right here, and the other one to lane 1. I could send lane 1 also into lane 2, or I could send this out to the master and skip lane 3 altogether. So we could just send this guy to lane 3. We'll assume this is our master out, and then lane 2 is going to feed into lane 3 as well. So I could apply different effects. So on this bloopy thing, I could do like a really ridiculous chorus, and I don't know, a phase distortion, and then on this guy I could apply a phaser into a reverb. Which is super cool, and then we could actually roll this back, so we could roll this into lane 2 as well. So it's going to feed from here to here, and then into here, and then this all feeds out. So this allows you to create some absolutely ridiculous combinations of sound. Cassidy, that's my sister. Hi, Cameron. Hi, Cassidy. So yeah, outside of that, I'm not really sure what else I wanted to demonstrate, so I figured we would just kind of play around and make some stuff. Let me see if there's any other neat presets I should show off. This was actually kind of an interesting one. So this is a crash cymbal just made with noise and a bandpass filter. Which I thought that was actually kind of interesting. Because, like, you know, I've synthesized cymbal stuff before with, like, FM and whatnot, but for whatever reason, the bandpass filter there really worked well. So we could, maybe... we'll just start from scratch and make something weird. So we can, like I said, we can do FM, we can do linear exponential FM, we can do amplitude modulation, we can, you know, samples, wavetables, whatever. It's really, really neat. So let's go ahead and just kind of start from scratch and make something. So I'm going to add a filter onto this saw. I want this to be a bandpass. So I want this to be kind of a hard synced weird thing. Cool. And I'm going to do some FM on that from a sine wave. Cool. And then I'm going to use this to also provide FM to this filter here. Cool. And then we're going to add another group onto that. I want to create a nice low something for this. So we're going to add an output. Here's a sine wave. And then I'm going to do another little bit of FM from another sine. So I'm going to drop this down an octave. Okie dokie. And then we'll do a little bit of FM here, just to create a nice heavy sublayer. Wow, so much to learn. That's my sister, everybody. She's a sarcastic pain in the balls. Okay, so we've got two groups here, and now we can go ahead and maybe add another group just for some kind of nice mid content. So we'll add some big detune square-y stuff. And add a bit of spread or stereo width. And we'll run that to another output. And maybe we could do like a nice notch filter moving around inside of that. So we'll widen this out. And maybe we could have this low sine FMing the cutoff point. I don't know. Yeah, we'll leave that as it is. Cool. So we'll send this sub, we'll send this to lane 1, and then we'll send this guy to lane 2, and this guy to lane 2. I mean, both to go to lane 3. All right. Sweet. So for this sub, I'm going to go ahead and just solo this section out. Bit of compression. Okay, and then maybe just a little bit of phase distortion, not much. Cool, and then we'll go to lane 2. So maybe we could do something with a filter up here. We could do like a bandpass swipey dude. So we'll add an envelope down here. Get rid of the sustain. Maybe we could also have that same envelope affect the resonance. Sweet. We could do a ring mod to create some kind of erosion-y something. So we'll rectify up, bias up. And we'll have this affect the mix. Cool, and we'll add some distortion to that. Oh, the replay will be available. Yep, this will be reposted tomorrow probably. So now we've got that going on, and then over here in lane 3, let's do a slice EQ. Oh, need to unsolo that. Cool, we'll do a phaser, and we'll add a new envelope here. Actually, instead of a phaser, let's do a comb filter. Cool. And a little bit of distortion again. Maybe a bit much low end going into that. Sweet. So yeah, that's like a basic, I don't know what kind of patch that is. House bass? I don't know. Some 4 on the floor thing under that. We could maybe do a bit of global unison on that, add some glide, set it to mono. Sweet. Whoops, that's something I don't want. So let's make another patch. Let's do something with wavetables. Let's make a new wavetable. What should we make? Let's draw like a, I don't know, could I draw like a Batman symbol? Maybe? Okay, so then you gotta draw a bat. A bat has little horns, and then his wing goes up and down. Okay, and bats have sharp ears. That's gonna be sharp. We don't need that point. Okay. Does that look like a bat? I think that looks like a bat. Okay, and then the bat is going to turn into a sine wave, I guess. Oh, whoops. Okay, we got to redraw the bat. Okay. Ah, shit. Nope. I didn't want to do that. Frame 1. Draw a bat. I have opened something somehow, and I don't know what I did. But that's okay. I'm damn sure going to figure it out. Okay, so here's... Yep. And then... the other ear. Nope. Okay, and then he's got another wing. Okay, good enough for me. The bat wave. Done. Okay, and then over here. So that's bat to sine. Okay, so bat to sine. Morph, crossfade. Bat turns into sine. Okay. So we're going to call this the bat bass. And what should this do? That sounds really crappy, but that's okay. Okay. So let's do some amplitude modulation of noise. Let's add an output. So we're going to need an output and then an analog. Sine turned down an octave. And that's going to do amplitude modulation here. Actually, let's turn that down 2 octaves. Okay, and bat wave needs to go down. Some unison on it. Yeah, maybe we'll add, I don't know, a square wave doing something. That's not going to do it. Okay, so this is bat bass. Okay, I can deal with that. And then we're probably going to want a sub. So we'll do group, analog, output, and we'll shift the harmonic down to 0.5. Okay, so now we've got that, and we need to just kind of mix these together a bit. Want this in mono, legato, 350 milliseconds of glide. Sweet. All right, so now we need some effects and stuff. So the sub is going to go to lane 3. And we're just going to let that be. Okay, so we got lane 1. Okay, we'll add a random LFO. So smooth, and here's some cutoff stuff happening. Okay. And slow that down a little bit. Use the later filter in the generator section. Oh, the ladder filter over here in the generator is what you mean? Yeah, you can actually do filters and stuff over here. So we wanted to do a filter. You do effects filter. You can't do the ladder filter, but I assume that's probably for some kind of like technical reason. Okay, so we've got a notch and distortion. Sweet, that sounds pretty neat. Let's do reverb. Any thoughts on upcoming DAWg 3? I don't know, but I looked at an article about it, and it seemed really, really cool. So I think I might do like a trial of it or something and just see what it's all about. I've never really used DAWg all that much myself, so I can't really comment on if it's going to be better or worse or whatever. But I mean, just from my initial thought, like, it looked pretty neat. All right, let's add like a little bit of a pitch envelope to this guy. Cool. Let's see, that's gonna go into lane 2, I guess. Why not? Let's do Haas delay, pitch shifter, or no, let's do a frequency shifter. Where's that at? Okay, 1.2 hertz. Mix that a little bit down. Okay, let's see how that sounds. Okay, that's sounding pretty ridiculous. So let's make it cooler. I guess let's grab a nice hard compressor. We'll do like 8-to-1. Okay, let's do Faturator. Let's do some EQ, so we'll do mid-side. So we're going to cut out all the low end of the side channel. Stereo mode. Sweet. Glork Glunk. Oh, what's up, dude? How you doing? Yeah, I think they're doing something with ladder, maybe. I have no idea. So there's like some kind of weird, stupid EQ choice. I don't know what that is. And let's do a bit crusher. Why not? Yeah, I think they are wanting to do some kind of granular stuff with the sampler, just in like a later update for it, which I think would be absolutely killer. So what was the original point here? Bat bass. So yeah, I guess this is the bat bass. I could probably use the little 3-band EQ to kind of re-tame this a bit. And then we could do a, I don't know. How does Artifacts make those like sequence basses? I don't know how he does that. I guess we could do some kind of looping something. I guess let's do like a custom LFO shape. Okay, so let's do like and then oops, nope. Okay, and then down again, up again, down again. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. The bat bass. I guess if you just slowed that like way down, I guess we could do 8/8. So yeah, there's like a stupid weird bass patch. So that is pretty freaking neat. I kind of just want to like play with the presets for a sec that I made. And just see if we can make something. Okay, I'm just so glad I can show this, because like I've been waiting to show this to you guys for like forever. Did you just say granular? Yeah. So I think the sampler is going to get a granular mode maybe at some point after like it's out and been out for a while. But yeah, if it ever gets granular, that's going to be absolutely stupid powerful. But I just got Pad Shop Pro today, so now I have a granular Cubase thing. So that'll tide me over in the meantime. Okay, let's try and make just some kind of loop. I just wonder how this all sounds together. Okay, so here's like, I don't know, some kind of 8-bar loop. So this is a kick. Sure. Okay, now let's add my snare. Where's my snare? How about this snare? Sure. We'll do that one. Have I checked UV on Meteor yet? Oh no. I didn't know you put out a new video today. I must have missed that. No, I think I read something about Meteor, but I haven't checked it out yet. I'll have to... Yeah, I'll watch that once I'm done, because I gotta, like, eat dinner and stuff. Okay, so here's, like, a hi-hat. I don't know. Okay, so there's some hi-hats. Okay, cool. Doot. And set this to quantize mode. Okay. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da. And here's some triplets for the homies. And a little bit of that, and some of this. And there's a hi-hat pattern. Okay, cool. Duplicate, what have we got? That snare is like obsessively loud. Let's give these hats a little bit of reverb. brighten them up. Just a bit. Okay. So there's some hi-hats. And an 808. What key? Let's do F. Okay, let's tweak the 808 sound. Cool. I give Serum 1 year and people have moved on from it with this in Dune 3. Yeah. For real though, like, this is just impressive. Like, I don't know, when I first got the beta, I didn't really know like what to expect. And I mean, you know, I didn't really have any expectations, but this just kind of defied any idea I had of like what you could do in a synth, because it's like, I don't know, it's a lot like Reactor, and it gives me a lot of freedom to get really kind of experimental and weird, but it's not like Reactor to where it's so intense and in-depth that, like, you know, it's almost a process in and of itself to use it. All right, let's do some kind of pad. Good enough for me. And we'll do like here's something up an octave, 2 octaves. Cool. And let's grab one of my Reese things. Okay, I need to name this. This is pad 808 hat snare. This is bass. Cool. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that bass. It's a little ridiculous. Definitely looks easier to add onto this to like the generator snap. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I'm fully confident that, like, given time, you know, after this releases, like, they're only gonna add more ridiculous stuff than it already has, which, like, I mean, even right now in the beta stage alone, like, I'm so happy with this synth because it just, like, it doesn't get in the way. And kind of like I said in my review about, like, Kilohearts, the Works bundle, when they gave me that, like, I mean, it's just, it's so easy to use. And it's like, you know, and I think that's what will draw a lot of people from Serum into this, is that, you know, Serum does so well because it's such a visual thing. And to be, like, honest, I think this does a better job than Serum of, like, visually demonstrating what's happening. So not only is it fully capable of really ridiculous sounds, and it's great for, like, you know, really high-level ridiculous shit, but, like, it's also really good for people just learning how a synth works and, like, what you can do with it, which, like, you know, it's just, it's so cool. So I think, you know, they maybe got something to worry about. So I don't think this bass is going to work with this. How about this guy? Yep, okay. Yeah, I can do something with that. Okay. Okay, whatever. Whoops. Should probably mix this because Art's headphones are exploding and gonna kill him to death. good enough for me for mixing. Let's see. No word on pricing yet, right? A couple things, but like I said earlier, I won't really say anything now because like I don't know. But they're at NAMM right now, showing this guy off. So I'm sure soon, they'll, like on their Twitter newsletter or whatever, they'll have announcements on the pricing and options. Because I'm not sure how it's going to work overall. Just given all the different snap-ins or like bundles they might offer. Who loves simplicity over something that's really deep? Serum's here to stay a bit longer. Yeah, no, I would agree, because like that and Serum, just the name recognition alone, like there's not really anything that's going to be a Serum killer, because you know, like everybody knows Serum. But yeah, I think this definitely has a lot of strengths to it that just aren't offered anywhere else at all. All right, let's do some kind of lead, something. Okay, whatever. Good enough for me. All right, and that's enough Phaseplant. Okay, let's group. And here's a side chain. Sweet. And kick and snare are gonna go to that guy. Boop, doot, doot. And all these guys are gonna go to the side chain. All right, excellent. And let's just kind of rebalance everybody for a second and give this a listen of what we can do with only Phaseplant. Good enough. Okay, so like, and something. Yep, that, and get rid of you, get rid of you. All right. And there we go. Okay, here's like a quick loop of Phaseplant only. Oh man, chat. Personally, like deeper stuff like Falcon. Yeah, no, for sure. I think there's definitely, you know, kind of a discrepancy in like what you want to use based on like what you know and what you do as a producer. Because like, you know, for me doing more like sound design focused stuff, and then like when I make our music, you know, I'm really into designing like all the sounds and stuff. So yeah, like the deeper stuff definitely has a lot more appeal to me. Plus, like I was saying, you know, like you can get a lot more experimental and like just screw around with it and see what happens. Phaseplant has completely destroyed my desire for an FM8 update. It really has, though, because like the other day I was doing some sound design stuff for like a sample pack I'm working on, and then, you know, just being able to do snares like this in Phaseplant, I don't even have a reason for FM8 anymore, because like FM8 was like my kind of go-to drum synth. But like, especially now, you know, like with this, I can have different filters and reverbs and parallel processing and serial processing and just do all this stuff within one synth. Like there's no point in having FM8. But now, because of Phaseplant, also, you know, not only do I get the standard analog oscillators and whatever, but with the wavetable, I can draw on my own waveforms and do stuff like I see people do with Citrus. So like Phaseplant essentially is FM8 too, because it allows you to do what FM8 does, but also gives you the ability to add more filters and effects and whatever in whatever order you want, as many as you want, and also just be ridiculous and weird with it and do stuff that FM8 just simply can't do. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up on chat here. But yeah, I mean, like with FM8 and whatnot, I don't know. I don't really care if they come out with a new FM8 now, because Phaseplant is kind of my replacement to FM8. Massive X was delayed to June for reasons I can't disclose. Yeah, I'm kind of curious with Massive X because, like, Massive has a really special place in my heart, but I don't know. I'm kind of over it. But yeah, like with this in Phaseplant, like, you know, just like FM8, you get a ridiculous routing matrix, but you can also do all that here. So, like, if we just opened a couple analog oscillators and just created like a patch that I would do in FM8. So, like, let's say something like this. So let's say this is operator F, this is operator D and C. But you know what's cool is, like, because we can have envelopes, we can actually tie this to these for the level. So now we have a full-blown operator. So from here, you know, we could do E into F, and then F into D. F, or F into E. No, D. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to think. I don't see the letters. And then we could feed this one into this one, and then we could also feed this one then back into itself. So we can do really ridiculous, crazy, complex FM stuff, but, you know, without having FM8. And I could use whatever waveforms I want, or import my own custom single cycles. So, yeah. Okay, what is this loop? Let's do that. And yeah, like, that's just really cool that I can do all that with just a synth. Obviously the kick isn't really great, but that isn't really how I designed that patch. Yeah, this is by far one of the most interesting synths I've seen since I started producing. Like, I'm just beyond excited for the final release of this, because, like, I can't honestly think of anything else like it. And, you know, let alone just like anything that is capable to do like what this can do outside of Reactor. But even then, you know, Reactor is obviously a lot more powerful than Phaseplant. But the thing is like, there's never been something so powerful with such accessibility. Because it's like, as soon as I installed this thing, I mean, within 5 minutes, I was just away I went doing whatever I wanted to do within this. So, yeah, I guess that's basically the end of the showing off part. So I guess if you guys have questions in the chat, we'll stream for a bit more here before I gotta go eat dinner and whatnot. So I guess if you have questions about it, I can demonstrate whatever here. I can't really think of anything I missed that I kind of wanted to talk about or that I've really used yet. But yeah, so I will leave the floor to you guys now and keep talking in case anyone has questions or wants to see something else. And I kind of just want to experiment really quick with FM. Just compared to FM8. Let's find out. Okay, so I want a Phaseplant and I want an FM8. FM8? Okay, there's FM8. What can you do with noise? Okay, that's a good question. Let's find out. So let's try. I want a noise oscillator. So with noise, we can do stable or random noise. We can make it stereo. We can adjust the slope. If you're not familiar with that, this basically means we can do different colors of noise, more or less. Here we can get bit noise, and this is like smooth random noise. So with noise here, let's just make some basic white noise and we'll just send that out. So let's try and make a patch only using noise. Let's do a ladder filter. I think I know what I want to do. So I want to add MIDI note, and I want to key track the filter. Get a little bit of self oscillation. Okay, let's do a nice little slap delay. So we'll do 104 milliseconds with almost no feedback. Cool. Let's do a reverser. Let's do a ring mod and create just a bit of crunchiness. A little bit of a phaser, and we'll feed that all into a reverb, and here's what we can do with just noise. Maybe get rid of that. So that's really neat. But yeah, so you can get different colors of noise from white to brown, and then you get bit crushy noise and then super duper low pass noise. This actually has a harmonic control, so that's kind of interesting as well. So yeah, the noise oscillator is really, really powerful and lets you do a lot of stuff. Does it have a harmonic editor like Serum and Dune 3? Not right now. Last I talked to them about it, I believe they are going to add a partial or a harmonic editor where you can mess with the partials, because you can see it is down here, and I guess this did work at one point, but right now it's not available. The only available partial editor is via the filter at the moment, so we can use that to edit the partials to result in, let's see if we do this and do a really, really ridiculous slope. You'll see there that we get a sine wave because we've only got the first harmonic going on. So I am sure this will be implemented again eventually. I don't know if that'll be at release or what. So yeah, that is really, really cool. But yeah, the wavetable stuff is really, really powerful at the moment, and the import is really nice. So we could just grab like, yeah, here's like a vocal or something. I don't know. Yeah, so this is like a vocal, so we can just drag this up and kind of trim the sample that we want to use to generate the wavetable. And we'll go ahead and hit done. And there we go. So now we've got this, so we could draw like here to here and normalize it. Cool, and now we've got a wavetable from like a vocal sample or something. So we could tune that like way the hell down and see what it is. So that's really, really cool. You can also use the note modulator and the resonator to make noise harmonic as well. Yeah, no, you could do that. And that's the cool part, is like there's, with this synth, you know, there's like 4 different ways to do one thing, which is really, really cool. How much is this going to cost? I said that earlier. I'm not totally sure. I'm not really going to say, because I'm not sure how the pricing scheme is going to work. Just because like there's snap-ins and different things. So I don't know what pricing is going to be available. They're out now at NAMM talking about this. So I think in the coming days, weeks, months, they'll have more news about exactly what they're going to offer with it. $1 million. Yeah, you're going to need to sell one, if not several vital organs to get this guy. So now, just out of curiosity, I just want to play with this versus FM8 and just see if there's any real difference. FM8's a lot quieter. Okay. So let's do 22%. Okay, and then E into F, 22. Can't really type, so okay. Interesting. Okay, let's try... There we go. Okay, so that's sounding a lot closer. So now let's feed F into E by a value of 9. So I want to feed this into this by a value of 9-ish. All right, and does it sound the same? It does not. Very interesting. I don't know. Personally, I like Phaseplant better. I think it looks cooler. I really love Kilohearts, and also, like, it's just stupid, stupid powerful. Because we could also, like, if we got the sampler out here, I could take this pad I made, and I could use this to provide phase modulation if I wanted. Like, how cool is that? If they add the harmonic editor with FM, we can kiss Citrus goodbye. Yeah, no, that's why I was super stoked about this, because, like, I've always wanted Citrus, and, like, this is basically Citrus. Like, the other day I was watching a Seamless video, and I actually opened up Phaseplant to follow along, and I got damn close, and I was really, really pleased with that. Yeah, no, like, this synth can do a lot of different things that would require a lot of different synthesizers, which I think is absolutely dope, especially for, like, what I assume the price is going to be based on what they mentioned. Like, this is just a no-brainer. And then, you know, snap-ins and God knows what else they're going to add into this in the future, like, is just going to be ridiculous. Different DSP code has different FM sound. Yeah, good point. I don't know, like, ever since I downloaded the beta and have, like, been playing with it, FM8 has just, like, it's just sounded really outdated to me. Because, like, especially with FM8, like, one of the big things that always bugged me is that in FM8, if we change this to a saw, it's this really, really dull saw. And the only way to get, like, an actual saw is to, like, feed it back into itself and then give it a little bit of FM from another saw, which I think makes no sense. That's not another saw, though. And I understand why they do that for, like, the point of aliasing, but, like, you know, it's just, it just bothers me, because it's like, if I want a saw, I want a saw, and if I don't want all the harmonics of a saw, I want to be able to filter it. And that's what Phaseplant allows me to do, is if, you know, I want to do FM from a saw wave here, I could feed that into a filter and then send the output of this to provide FM for this, or PM in that case. So, you know, it's just like, it's such a stupid, stupid powerful synth, and I think Kilohearts have really, really outdone themselves with this, because this is just beyond dope. But, alright, so I think that is about it for this stream, guys. I didn't intend for this to be super duper long, and it is about dinner time for me. So I think I'm going to go ahead and conclude the stream, unless anyone has any remaining questions that need to be answered right this second. FM8 is a fossil. Can't believe people still use it. Yeah, I like FM8, and I use it off and on, but, like, to really get a cool sound out of it, I always had to add, like, a ton of effects. And, you know, this, too, being capable of both linear and exponential FM, like, I mean, FM8 is too, sorta, in a way, but, like, you know, Phaseplant just does everything FM8 does, but better. Okay, I'd love another drunk production vid. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that at some point. Do you wear socks right now? I do have socks on right now. I have wool socks. I wear wool socks during winter because they're nice and warm, and I live in a very cold place. Thanks for the stream. Dope stream. Take it easy. All right, guys. Well, I think that will do it. So thanks for watching. I might do another stream about this, but I'm doing a series on Kilohearts plugins starting soon-ish. So I'm sure once that comes out and once Phaseplant is released in the actual release version, I'm sure there's going to be like a giant series about this anyway. So that will do it, guys. Thanks for watching. Artifacts, take it easy, bud. And I will catch you guys again soon.